and welcome to my Facebook Live and YouTube channels. I am a few minutes early, so give me just a few minutes. There's a few things I need to take care of on the computer, and I'll be back momentarily. Or at least you can see me the side of my face. So give me just a minute. I'm going to go ahead and get the chat opened up and put my message in here. Let's see if it's going to go through. There we go. All right, so the chat is open. So let me know once you arrive. And let's see, what else do I need to do? I think I'm good. Let me just sign into my Facebook page. It's 3 minutes to 7, so I am a few minutes early. Make sure if you join, make sure that you like and share my Facebook page. And if you're on YouTube, make sure that you ring the bell if it's your first time and subscribe to my channel. And that way, every time I upload a new video, you will be informed. So let me go into my Facebook page and make sure that we are working. There's no problems. That's if I can get into my phone. Go figure. All right, let's see. Facebook, I got to get out of whatever it is I'm in. All right, let's see. We need to go to, not there. Don't want there. Let me change my profile. There we go. All right, and it says we are live. So that's a good thing. We're all a go. Hello, Karen. How are you? All right. I think we are done with that. Let me turn the volume down. All right. So how's everything with you? Oh, my goodness gracious. My little doggie is in here laying on the bed. We'll see how well she's going to act. She has been going through, she's done this before, but she hasn't done it, I don't think, in a month or so. But she gets her dog food and she runs into the living room with it in her mouth. And then she gets on the couch or someplace and then she tries to bury it or hide it. They call it caching. My husband looked it up last night. And I think it's when they're either hiding it for fear of somebody taking it from them, or they're holding on to it for future. I don't know. So I saw she was laying on the bed and she was like kind of digging. I said, "What are you doing in there?" But she must have had it and put it down and then ate it. So she didn't bury it because I don't see it anywhere on the bed anywhere. Anyways, that's what my dog is doing. I swear. Never heard of that? Well, look it up. So I don't know I don't have any idea what brings it on. It's not like we have other animals in the house that she's afraid that someone's going to take her food away, right? Because we feed her in the morning and in the evening and her food stays down. So if she doesn't eat it, it's in her bowl. So I don't know. She's crazy. Oh, yeah. Well, she's laying down. Rosie, you want to come? I had her necklace. I don't know if I showed you her necklace I bought her. Rosie, you want to come up here? She's laying down. I think I'll leave her alone for now. She went to the beauty parlor today too. But I'm afraid if I wake her up or make her move, then she's going to get all anxious and want to get up and then go out the door and in and out, in and out. So she's laying down. But oh my gosh, she's a mess. But if I haven't showed you her necklace, I ordered her from Etsy a pearl. It's a sterling, I think it's sterling silver. I'm not sure, but it's silver pearl necklace. And it has a heart that I had engraved with Rosie in a cursive font with my phone number. So in case she gets lost, somebody will know how to reach me. But the Rosie looks like, and if I told you this, I'm telling you, I'm losing my mind sometimes. I can't remember stuff. But anyways, the Rosie looks like it's Roxy. And I told Chuck, I said, I don't care. If somebody calls and says, "We have your dog, Roxy," then I'll know it's my dog. So, but it's funny. But it's a really cute, I get more compliments on that pearl necklace that she wears. But anyways, I took it off of her because took her to the groomer today and she's been scratching. So I think I need to tell the groomer to start using like sensitive skin shampoo and stuff because she's been scratching a couple of times. And I know they're apparently Shih Tzus and Yorkies have very sensitive skin and tummies and all that fun stuff. So who knows, right? So, anyways, oh, you know what? We should have spelled it like that, Roxy, Rox. Oh yeah, Roxy is Rosie. But anyways, it's okay. The S looks like an X. I guess the font I had choices of fonts, and the one that I chose was kind of it wasn't a real fancy cursive, but it was a cursive, and I didn't even pay attention to it when I typed it in because it put it in the font. But I think when they put it on the heart, the S goes right where the heart point is, and it kind of makes it look like an X. But it's fine. I don't care. It's got my phone number, so that's all that matters. So if she gets lost, the least they know how to get a hold of me. So, hey, Judy, how are you? Good evening. But anyway, so that's fine. So, all right, it is 7:02. I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself for those that are here. And we've got people that are watching inconspicuously, so they don't like to put their names out there, but this is fine. And then go over a little bit of our Black Friday sale. And I won't go into a lot because apparently there's a lot of stuff that's been sold out. But anyways, all right. So for those that don't know me, I'm Dawn Duvall. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I have been doing this craziness for almost 15 years. And I enjoy doing this, and it's all about having fun. And as most of you know that have watched me for any length of time, know that I make fun of myself. That's okay. I look at mistakes are okay. It's all right because nobody knows what this card is going to look like or whatever it is that we're making. So everything is okay. It's all good. So anyways, we Stampin' Up is doing their first Black Friday through Monday sale. They've never done one before, and it started today. Well, lo and behold, they have on sale for 40% off are the Stampin' Blends. So you're talking $6 and something for a pair. So if you don't have blends or you're running low in one of the colors, now would be a good time to do that. The paper trimmer is on 40% off, as well as the blades. And there's one other item. What is it? Oh, the ink packs, if you will. So it's not the individual refill bottles, but it's the inks that are like in the colors, like the Regals, the Subtles, and all of that. And it's really 40% off. So that's a good deal. And then 25% off is I have to try to remember this from memory, but oh my God, I can't remember now. It's yeah. But anyways, that is cardstock is 15% off, and it's only the cardstock is basic black, basic white thick, and very vanilla. So it's not any of the colors that we all thought we were going to get. It's just the basic neutral colors, which is fine. And my gosh, I've just went blank on the 25%. But needless to say, I was just looking at some notes from one of the demonstrators online, and it never fails. People, when you run sales, you never know you're going to run out of something. Well, they've already ran out of stock of several things, and some of the stuff won't even come in and be able to get back here until February because a lot of it comes from overseas. So it's a little frustrating. But I would encourage you at least to go online and see, the seal and the adhesives, the seal plus, the Tombow, the liquid glue, the dimensionals are on sale. So those, I think that's a pretty good price. So those are the ones that are in the 25% range, if I'm not mistaken. So that's what that is. But I would go online and take a look at those items, because if you're running low on one of those or a couple of them, it may make sense to go ahead and place an order. And then check out the last chance list as well, because we only have it through the end of December, and then we don't know what items will go off or will sell out, or which ones obviously they're going to go away unless they carry over. So anyways, just thought I'd throw that out there, let you all know that. And that's the risk of doing a Black Friday, especially if it's going to run 2, 3, 4, 5 days. And then Monday is Cyber Monday, December 1st. And that's where our paper pumpkin subscriptions are at a discount. So if you're not a paper pumpkin or a kit person, you might want to take a look at that. I love paper pumpkin. I use the stamps because they really have some great stamps in that. So check those out. Those are discounted. And the yearly one is got the best discount really. So it's a monthly kit. And if you can pause it if you choose to do so. And if you get the kit and you don't want to do it, give it to somebody as a birthday present or something, right? Or to a friend or family member, whatever. So, okay. All right. So tonight we're going to do a gift box. And I figured that with the holidays fast approaching, we'll make a gift box. I'm only doing the gift box and that's going to be it for the evening, but I think it should, with me talking as much as I do, we'll probably be here for at least 45 or 50 minutes. So, and if you all want a copy of the tutorial, just leave a comment, tutorial. And if you're on YouTube, if you don't mind leaving me your email address, because I think the only thing I can do is reply back to you. So if you're on YouTube watching and you want it, just either message me and tell me you want it, or put your email address in there so I can email it to you in a PDF format. Okay. All right. So let me flip the camera down and I'll show you what we're going to make and what tools we're working with. And it's really an easy one. I've got everything cut other than the box itself. So I'll go through that, but all the other pieces are already cut. So give me just a minute. I'm going to flip the camera down and then let me reverse it so that everything is in order. All right. So there is our box that we're going to be making. Give me 1 second. I'm going to push this back a little bit. Okay. There we go. All right. Isn't this a cute little box? And let me tell you, this thing is going to hold, it's going to hold a lot of stuff. So it's a non-glue. I mean, you obviously got to glue it together, but it just slides open like that. Look how big this is. Look how deep that is. So you could put, now you can do in the tutorial, there is a, on the last page, a section which would tell you how to make, if you want to make like a paper, like a barrier where you can separate like candies or whatever. You can do that. You can put, this is what, it will hold 2 spools of ribbon. So there's one and it will hold another one on top of that. So you've got ribbon. You can put all sorts of candies in here. You can put teas in here, little miniature candies, little candy canes, put money in here, jewelry, rings, whatever. So it's a good size box. And then it just closes up, just closes itself right on up. You don't even glue it down. All right. So this is what we're going to be making this evening. Now I am using the Jolly Delivery stamp set. This has probably been one of my most favorite sentiments. I have used this so much. It's unbelievable. So I have that is what we're going to use tonight. And then I'm using the Spotlight on Nature dies. If you all remember these, they're still available and still active. There's 12, I don't know, was it 12? 1, 2, yeah, there's 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 12. And they, so we're going to use this one that has like the little flowers. And as you can see, I didn't poke out the white out of it. It's the second to the smallest. And that's what we did for our sentiment, to hold my sentiment, which actually fits on there perfectly. So that worked out. All right. And so let's get started. And I'm going to move my box over. Let me see if I can put it somewhere. Hang on a minute. Let me move my stuff. Hang on. I have to get organized. I'm not, I've said this before and I'm not complaining, but I miss having our cousin's place because I had lots of room. I didn't have to worry about having this little table, but that's okay. I'm not gonna complain about it. I'm happy that I have what I have. All right, so let's see. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna put it right there. How's that? That'll be out of my way. No, it won't. That's gonna be in my way because I gotta do some scoring. Anyways, we'll pull it back in a few minutes. So if you're just joining, I'll show you the box in a few minutes. All right, so this is what you're gonna need. You're gonna need a 12 by 12 piece of either our two-tone cardstock or 12 by 12 regular cardstock. Okay. I am actually using, and let me tell you something, what I've done. I have been buying the two-tone cardstock in the packets that we sell, like the multiple colored ones, because that way it gives me the opportunity to have 2 or 3 pieces of maybe 6 colors. And then if I order a different color set, then I've got 2 to 3, 2 pieces or so of those colors. So if you don't, and really the two-tone cardstock, even though it's a lot lighter, it's less expensive than our regular cardstock. So just throwing that out there. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take a piece of two-tone cardstock. Now this is Pool Party. This is one side, and then this is the darker side. So I don't know if y'all can see. Yeah, see the difference? But I'm going to use the light side. But I really like the fact that, you know, you've got two tones there, so you can get a lot of use out of this paper. So you may want to go into my online store and take a look at the two-tone cardstock. It comes in 12 by 12, so you really do get a lot for what you're. I think they're $10. I'm not. Don't hold me to that, but it's very inexpensive compared to what we're paying for the other cardstock. So okay, so we're going to cut. We've cut this down to 12 by 6 3/4. All right, so 6 3/4 at the top, and then 12 inches long. Okay, now the next thing the first thing we're going to do is we need to score. So on the long side, we're going to put it in this way. And the long side, let me make sure I get my trimmer in the right place. My little blade. Let me pull this down. And our paper trimmer, which is on sale, is goes out with the arm to 17 inches. I know you've heard me talk about this before. It's also in centimeters as well as metric or inches. And it runs every 1/4 inch on these grids right here. And then the nice thing, which you've heard me talk about before, is that on these blades, this is the scoring, and this is the paper, the trimmer itself, the cutter. There's a little mark right there. You have this grid right here that I put a piece of tear and tape on so I could actually see it. So if you need to cut down, you know, from the start to 1 inch, you can actually see it right here. So you're able to do the side cutting so you can see what the sides are. So there's my pitch on the trimmer. So if you purchase one, or if you already have one, that's great, but just make sure you go in and get your blades while they're on sale. Okay, so now we're going to do some scoring. And again, if you're just joining us, welcome. And you can get the tutorial, just reply with tutorial, and I'll send that to you by email. So if it's on YouTube, please leave me your email address. All right. Okay. So we're going to start out on the long side, and we're going to score 1.5 inches. So we're going to line this up at 1.5 and make sure that you've got your top and the bottom. Make sure you're on, like, I've got a line right there. So I need to make sure I'm on that line, and I've got them both even. Sometimes I've noticed I get a little wampus, gets a little cattywampus on my paper. And all right, so we got the scoring blade. So we're going to score at 1.5, and then we're going to move it down to 5 1/4. So that's going to be right there. So we're going to make sure it's butted up to the head of the trimmer, and we're going to put it at 5 1/4, and we're going to score that. All right, and then we're going to move it down to 6 3/4. Oops, let me bring this down so y'all can see. 6 3/4, which is going to be right there. And again, you want to get it butted up to here, so that way you know that it's even. I'm going to shift it over just a tad. All right, I think that's good. And then we're going to score that. And then we're going to move it down one more time to 10 1/2. Okay, so we're going to slide this all the way down to 10 1/2 right there. And I'm going to lift that up. I want to make sure I'm right on the 10 1/2 mark. And I am. So we're going to close that. And then we're going to score right there. Okay. Now we're going to turn it, and we're going to go this way. And we're going to score at 1.5 inches. So let's come over here and do 1.5. And you don't need to take notes, because you can just ask me for the tutorial, so that way you can watch and pay attention. All right, so we're going to score at 1.5 on this side, and then we're going to slide it over to 5 1/4. So we're going to move it over right here, which is 5 1/4. And I want to make sure I've got that butted up, and it's right on the 5 1/4 mark. and we're going to score like that. Okay, so that's all we have to do for scoring. Let me move this out of the way. And I know that, let me put this up over here. Hang on a second. All right, and I know that it's hard to see this because it's light. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our bone folder, and we're going to fold in and crease all of our lines. So now now you see the two-tone, right? I want this on the inside. I want my light side on the outside. I'm going to have my light on the outside, okay? So we're going to fold these sides. This is the size I just burnished, or just cut, or scored, I mean. All right, so let's get that there, and we're going to get that one right there. All right, now we're going to come in and we're going to fold all of these. And there's, this is really easy. There's no glue to this thing other than gluing your paper on here, right? And I'll give you those dimensions when we get done too. All right, so I'm just turning it around the other way so I can fold. So we just want to fold on all of our score lines and make sure we've got everything lined up on the sides. And then we have another score right here at the at this end. Okay, all right. So that's what we've got to do for that. Now we're going to do some cutting, okay? So we're going to cut at, hang on, let me get my directions. Okay, so we're going to cut up on our corner. We're going to cut the squares here, and then we're going to angle them. So we're going to do each of the squares. So it'll be 3 on each side that we're going to cut, and those will help us fold it to keep our box adhered, okay? Pardon me. So I'm going to cut up on the score line right on the corner, and then I'm going to come in and I'm going to bring that down just a little bit and tear off. You're going to do it just a little bit of an angle cut and tear that off. Now we may come back and cut this off once we get the box, when we get ready to put it together. All right. And then this one, we're going to do the same thing. So we want to cut this one here. It's really an easy box. Let me get over here on the score line. That would be helpful. All right, so we're going to do that. And then I'm going to come in and just trim this off just a little bit here. All right, and then we're going to do this side here. Hopefully y'all can see this. And we're going to cut this one on this side because this is going to be one of our flaps as well. And we're going to cut that there. And I'm going to trim that one in as well, just a little bit, not much, just because it makes it fold a lot easier. Hang on a minute, I got to grab my little piece here. Good Lord, can't even get my fingers on it. There we go. And then we're going to do this one here, and then we're going to turn, flip it over to the other, to that side, and we're going to do the same thing. So, and I kind of fold it to go backwards a little bit so I can see where that score line is. Sometimes that helps, especially when you've got dark paper. All right, so we're going to trim right there, and then I'm going to come in and trim just a little, like a little long triangle. You just want to trim off a little piece so that when it folds, it's going to fold. Okay, it won't get in the way of the folding part. So let's do the same thing on this side. This is probably the longest part right here that takes the longest to do this. So again, we're going to trim it on the tab side, and we'll just pull that little piece off, and we'll do the same thing. So this will help you with the holidays fast approaching. And you know, you can use this. Now it doesn't have to be for the for Christmas, right? You could use this for any kind of birthday. You could use it for Easter, Valentine's Day, whatever you want to give somebody a gift. All right, so I'm going to cut this one on both sides just a little bit. Again, it's not going to hurt to have it. And I know when I did the box earlier today, I did have to trim a little bit off the top, but I'm going to wait when we get ready to do that in case I don't need to, but I probably will. So I just want to trim this side off too, just so that we make sure we got some room to fold it. And then we're going to fold this one in as well. All right. But so there's so many ways, you could use this and decorate it. You could even do, an anniversary and put a little gift in there or something. You could put gift cards in there. You could put money in there. You could put candy. You could put all sorts of stuff in there. All right, let's see. Okay, I think we got it cut. All right, so there's all our how the cutting should be. Okay. Excuse me 1 second. I don't want to reach across the front of the camera. Let me get my trash can and bring that over here. I'm telling you, I'm working on okay. All right, so there's our box. So you see how it's cut. All right, and that's the inside. This is going to be my outside. Okay. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to, let me think about this. All right, so let me give you the measurements of the pieces of paper that we're going to need when we get ready to put this together. Let me go through that with you. Okay. So you want to pick your designer paper, and then you also want to get a coordinating piece of cardstock. Now, you'll understand what I'm doing here in just a minute when I show you what my colors are. So I know you're going to go pool party and old olive. Yes, old olive, because it goes with my holiday paper, because this one we're going to make it holiday. So we are going to do, now the picture, I will show you the picture. They did it using here's the one, using the Peaceful Garden paper. And then they put that glitter. We have the glitter paper. We've got silver. It's got like a light blue and then I think a dark color. But instead of doing that, I'm using the old olive. Okay. So that's what I'm doing. That's what the box is going to look like. Similar to what I showed you what I did. Okay. So we're going to cut a base for the front of our box or the top of our box. And this is going to be 3.5 by 3.5. So it's a 3.5 square. And then we're going to cut 4 pieces of the same color cardstock, and they're going to be 3.5 inches long by 1.25. Okay, so that's going to be the cardstock. And then our designer paper, I'm using the Christmas, one of the, I think it's in the traditional Christmas. And I like this one because it's got the old olive, it's got the pool party. I was thinking about doing the gold, but I changed my mind. And I think this one here is cherry. I think that's the cherry cobbler. So this piece here is going to be a 3.25 by 3.25 or 3.25 square. Okay. And then you're going to do 4 of the strips. Now you can use the same side, or if you want to flip them over, I'm going to do the same side. So I try to cut them where I get a little bit of the blue and the green. Okay. And you're going to cut 4 of these at 3.25 by 1 inch. So it's 3.25 this way by 1 inch. Okay. So what we're going to do, pardon me, we're going to go ahead and glue these together, and we're going to set these off to the side, and then we'll put our box together, and then we'll have these ready to put on them. Okay. So I told you it's really a pretty easy box. So let's move that over. Let's do these are going to be our side pieces of the box. Okay. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to add my adhesive. Ooh, that's coming out pretty fast. And we're going to put that on the old olive, and then I'll flip them around based on how I want them to go on the box. Okay. So this part, again, it's pretty easy. And once you see how easy it is to create, y'all will be making these things a lot. I didn't realize how easy it was when I did it this morning. I was like, oh my gosh. All right, so we got those. We're going to glue all those down. And then we have this one. These 2 have the blue in them, or the pool party. But don't you love this paper? I tell you what, this stuff is just gorgeous. I would love to, the designers that they have, the artists that create this stuff, it just amazes me how they come up with these, It really does. It just amazes me how their brain works that way. My brain doesn't work like that. So, but hi, Linda, how are you? Oh, you go ahead and finish your dinner. All right. So we're going to put these on here. and try to make sure that we've got them even all the way across. But you know what? I'm not going to worry about that if it's not. All right, so those are our 4 side pieces that we're going to use. And then this is going to get glued onto here. So we'll go ahead and add our adhesive to this. And if you're just joining us, welcome. And as I mentioned earlier, if you'd like to get a copy of this tutorial, leave me a comment. If you're on Facebook, just put tutorial. And if you're watching me on YouTube, you can put tutorial and either message me or leave your email address, whichever is easier for you. If you don't want to put your email address where everybody can see it, just message me with that, and then I can email the information to you guys. Okay, so that's all we have to do for our decorations at this point. Okay, so now we got to put our box together. So you're going to need some tear and tape. Okay, so we're going to, this is what I want my outside to look like, right? So we're going to do, this is the back side. So now we have to determine, and it really doesn't matter which side of the box, right? Pardon me. So we're going to go ahead and add our pieces on here. I'm going to use this for my top, and this will be my bottom. So I'm going to, and I have to remember now, if this is my top of my box, right, it's going to close. So I want my flowers to go this way, right? So since even though it's this way, this is the top of my box, that's what it's going to look like. So keep that in mind if you've got a direction to your paper, okay? You want to make sure that like this one, it didn't matter because it really wasn't a direction. But this one, I want my flowers to go this way because that's going to be the top of my box. So I'm facing everything towards the back, okay? Does that make sense? All right, so we're going to go ahead and glue this down. All right, so again, I want to make sure my flowers are going that way. And there's going to be a border, so just lay it in here like you normally would do and just try to make it as even as you can around the edges. And I'm going to turn it this way since the other one I didn't care about because I didn't have a design, but this one I do. All right, I think that's good. Now the side pieces probably aren't going to matter as much because those... they kind of will. All right, so we've got, let's do this. Let's do, I think I'm going to do the blue on the sides here. Now, when it folds down, I want my ribbon to go that way, right? And I've got one over here, so I want this one to go that way. Does that make sense to you guys? Because when I close the box, those are going to be down, so I want my ribbons looking like they're going towards the top of the box, okay? So we're going to put those on those sides, and then the other ones we'll just add to the front and the back. And you can put them however you want. I could put those here. Maybe that would make more sense to put it on the front. Let's see. So we have this one. So we have the red here, or we have this one here. Hang on before I glue it down. Which do we want to do? Which do you think? I'm thinking this is going to go like that. I think I might like this right here because it's going to give me some more blue to work with. I think I'm going to put this one right here. And you can, it doesn't matter. You can place them wherever you want. You know, we could put a blue one there and a red one there. I think I'm going to do that. And I'm going to put this one because that's going to be the front of the box right here. Front. These are the sides. So, and this is the back. So I think I'm going to put this one here. I'm going to put that one there and I'll put this one over here. I got to make sure I get them right because this is going, I got leaves going up and we want our leaves going up this way because when we fold the box down, right? Okay. Hopefully. All right. So that's what we're going to do. Change my mind. I just like the pool party and I thought that should probably stick out. All right, hang on. We got to have our flowers going this way because when we fold it down, we want them to be seen. All right, so there's that one. And then it doesn't matter once it's folded, really. Yeah, really, no one's going to pay attention to it, but just to be on the safe side. Okay, so this one, we'll have it doing the same thing over here. So we're going to put that one with the flowers going up. You are going to see the sides of the box. And then this one we're going to have this way. So when it folds down, yeah, the ribbon will be hanging down, the tail of the ribbon. It was kind of hard trying to cut that paper without cutting off half the ribbon, but it's okay. It's okay. All right, so we're going to lay this one right here. All right, so that's how we're going to put our paper on our box. Okay, so this is going to be the top and this is going to be the bottom. All right, now I'm going to turn it back this way and we're going to add some adhesive. So we're going to do our tear and tape, and there is a picture in here as well. So don't worry, it's going to show you everything you got to do. This is where it will give you the directions if you want to make the insert pieces for the box. Okay. All right. So we're going to put adhesive on all corners, center pieces, and corners. Okay. So I'm going to do tear and tape. Now, you could do seal if you choose to do that. I like the tear and tape. So we're just going to put it on here. And actually, what I'm going to do is tear it, but I'm going to cut a big piece off. It's easier to cut it and then tear for me. That way, you know, we don't have the whole roll hanging all over the place. So we're going to do each of these corners. All right. So we're going to do this one. And I'm telling you what, this is some sticky stuff though. Let me tell you. And we'll do one here. All right. And then we will, as soon as I can find the front of it, there we go. And then we're going to, let me tear off some more. Probably easier if I just cut the things right. Ah, see how it sticks to you? All right. So we're going to put one on here. And we're going to tear that one. And we'll put one here. Trying to get it close to the edge. All right, that one. And then we'll do one here. Sometimes it's easier just to cut it, you know. So let's just trim that little guy right there. Put him in the trash can. Let's go with my finger. All right, and then we need a couple more strips. You got to put one here and then those two squares there. All right, hang on. Trying to get to my tear tape. You know, there it is, going the other direction. All right, let's see what we can do with that. Okay, so we're going to put that there. We're going to put one little piece right here. And we're going to put one here. This, now, again, you can use your seal. It might be easier if you want to do it that way. And I'll put that right there. Actually, I'm going to cut this little piece. I'm going to put him right there. Just to make sure that we do have that little corner covered. And then I just need two more little pieces on this last corner. So we will, and I'm just going to cut this one. Well, we'll tear it. All right. And then we'll get this one done. Okay. And tear that one. All right, there we go. Okay. So now we're going to peel these off. And we'll do one at a time. If I can get them out of here. Okay, there we go. And I should have my pokey tool, but that's okay. My scissors work just as well. All right, so we're going to do that. And these are going to fold. All right, so let's do this first. I'm going to flip these over. These are going to go inside and fold. And we need to make sure we've got our creases good. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's going to fold into the box. So this is going to fold up. So when we start to see how we're going to fold this in. So this piece here, right, this is the bottom. So that piece, and I want to make sure that my, yeah, that lines up perfectly. So I'm going to make sure I got my square, right? We're going to glue that one down there. And then I'm going to flip it over and do this side so that we can make sure we all are on the same page here. And we're going to glue that, attach it right like that. So far, so good with our pieces. All right, just going to make sure that we got our folds all nice and crispy in here. Okay, now we're going to take and fold these in, let's see, this is my top. So that's going to go there. These will go into here, right? So these are the bottom pieces. They're going to go into the inside of the box, right? Like that. And then these are going to fold right like that, okay? So let's go ahead and do this part first. Probably doing it backwards, but that's okay. I'm going to get these pieces so I don't have everything flopping around. All right, so these are going to fold in just like we did the other side. All right, and then let me get that little guy off there. This really is a cute box. You know, you could put tissue paper in the bottom if you want to dress it up and put something nice in here. I mean, this would be nice if you've got like a wedding gift to give somebody. That would be nice. Or if somebody's getting married, this might be the thing to, give, you know, you could decorate a box to give to your bridesmaids or whatever, you know what I mean? So if you're going to give them a gift, you can make a box and fill it up with goodies. All right, so there's that. All right, so far so good. All right, and then we're going to take this piece here, and this is going to fold on the insides of this one, and then we'll have our box done. So let's go ahead and tear this off here. Probably should have done this first before I put the other back from this part. Probably should have done this first. Probably would have made it a little bit easier, but that's okay. It should still work. I'm trying to pull the tape backing off. There we go. And let me do this one. Yeah, I think it might have been easier if I had left these flat, but that's all right. So, you know, I always look like I have to make it harder than it is, right? All right, so there we go. We'll get these off, and then these are going to tuck right on the inside. So we're going to fold this one up, and again, we're going to do the same thing. Yeah, I should have left that one flat, but that's all right. We'll get it. We're going to put this one down here. I'm just going to line it up for my corner right there. Perfect. I got my finger holding that one so it doesn't glue it down. And then this one, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to line it up, get it just like that. And we're going to press that one down. And there is our box. And look at that. Everything, let's get all this out of the way. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that gorgeous? And you can decorate it however you want, right? So now we're going, oh, you know what I did? I messed up. Oh, well, I screwed up, guys. I got so excited I glued my top down and forgot to put my ribbon underneath of it. Okay. So what you want to do, don't do what I just did. All right. So before you glue your ribbon down, my old olive, but that's okay. I don't need to have the ribbon. Before you glue down your centerpiece, you want to put whatever the ribbon is that you're going to use. You want to use like about 5 inches. You want 2 5-inch pieces or 2 5.5-inch pieces. And you want to wrap one underneath and adhere it from here to here. And then one from here to here. Okay. And then you'll have another piece that's about 13 inches. And that's what you want to tie your bow with. I don't know if I can lift this up to get my ribbon under there. Because I even brought in some cream ribbon. I don't know if I can lift this up. Let's see. Since I use the, no, we're not going to do that. Okay. So let's pretend that I haven't put this on here so I can show you. You're going to take this before this is glued down, tuck these under the top piece, right? So tuck it under before you glue it down, and then do another piece and make like a cross, okay? So you're going to have a piece like this and a piece like that. And then you'll take your other piece and run them through, just like I did on here. You'll run it through and tie a knot, or you can tie a bow, however you want to do it. This one now is going to be a box without a bow. So that's my fault for not paying attention. I was so excited that I wasn't paying attention. But leave it to me, right? Okay, so now we have our little sentiment. So since I don't have any ribbon to tie it to, which is what I was going to do, and I was going to use the gold thread, which actually, no, we can't do that. I could wrap it around, but I'm not going to do that. We'll just, we'll stamp this, and I'll tie a bow with this. and we'll just put it on here with a dimensional. So that's what we'll do. Okay. All right. So that's how you do the box. Just remember, and you'll have the tutorial if you request it. So you won't do what I did. Before you glue down your centerpiece here, you want to attach the ribbon underneath the cardstock, underneath this layer, and then you'll tie the other one on top. Okay. All right. So anyways, now that I messed that one up, but it's still a nice box. So look, this is what you got to do. If you want to open it up, then you just pull it and open it up, and there's your box, right? Okay. So it all comes down and it looks pretty, and all my sides look nice. See, look at that. It's all in the right direction. All right. So I'm going to use Pool Party, and yeah, you can you're right. You could make a bow, get some, you're so smart, Karen. We'll do that. We'll use some tear and tape, and I'll just tie a bow. All right. So we're going to do Pool Party. And as I mentioned before, this is the Spotlight on Nature dies, and this is the second from the smallest. And we are going to stamp this using the Holly Jolly or Jolly Delivery stamp set, and we're using the Mary something here. I'll tell you in just a second once I get it inked up. So this is Pool Party. So I'm going to stamp this right on here, and it actually fits this little circle, believe it or not. Hoping this Christmas is the most magical yet. All right, so we've got that, and we'll put that over here, and we can do that. Let's see if we can tie a bow, and we can glue it down on the front. Karen's so smart. So let's just do that, and then we can tie our sentiment with our gold. I'm using some retired stuff. I'm not sure if it's a twine or what it is. It's a little bit thicker stuff that Stampin' Up used to carry. So all in how you tie your bow. So let's just pull it down. I think that's a little too big. And we'll just glue it on here. We'll just use a couple of glue dots or some some seal. And yeah, I think that'll look pretty. We'll just put that up in the corner. Karen Jo Young, you are the master of fixing things. So thank you for that recommendation. So see, it doesn't matter if you don't follow the directions right. You do what you want, right? So this is going to look pretty anyways. I think I'm going to put it up there. So let me pull this tight, and then I can pull it down. Hang on a minute. Because you know how you got to get your bows fluffed up and all that stuff, right? So I think we should just do it right about like that. And of course, my tails are going that way, but that's all right. And you can fight with them if you want them down more to the ground. I'm going to tighten this up. All right, let's put some glue dot. Actually, let's do a piece of the tear tape. What did I just do with him? All right, hang on. I know he's here. Oh, here he's right in front of me. See, when things are white and you don't see them, it gets a little frustrating. So I'm just going to tear a little piece off. And I think I'm going to put it up here in this corner. I don't want to cover up. I hate to cover up my flowers, but we'll puff it up. So I'm going to put a piece right here. And I'm actually going to trim that off just a little because I don't need that much. All right. Okay, and so this is tear and tape. You could have done your seal. I just figured I'd put that on there since I got it in front of me. Let me peel this off. Thank you, Karen, for your suggestion. All right, so let's get this guy where we want him and get it all tied up nice and pretty. Try to get it. The whole idea is trying to get your tails down. I haven't figured out how to do that yet. I haven't mastered that part. To get it nice and taut. All right, and then these little guys. So let's fluff them up. I'm going to put the knotted side down. Let me see which one looks better. No, we don't want that one. All right, let's do this one. All right, give me a second. Let me pull the tails in, and I'm going to glue that right about there. And we'll fluff these little. We'll just go puff those up. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so that takes care of my bow. Actually, let me move it up a little bit. Nope. Okay, that's good. All right, and then I have this sentiment, and this is our gold twine that we've had for years, and for whatever reason, I still have a bunch of this. So I'm just going to, and I'll trim this down. I'm just going to feed this through one of these holes right here, if I can. Let's try this again. There we go. And we'll just tie it. Let's see, should we tie it through one of the loops? We'll do that. So let's tie it through one of the loops. We'll pull that through, and we'll leave enough so it doesn't take up the bow. Hang on a minute. Let me get this here. All right, so let's do that. Let me tie this first, and then I'm going to adjust it once we get it on here. So I want it to go like that. And then we'll just tuck these pieces underneath. You know, this when they put this stuff on those rolls, right? And they sit there, and it's so hard to get them to not be so cringy. You know how they just want to continue to curl, curl, curl. So I think I'm going to leave it about like that. And then I'm going to tighten this up without, I'm going to leave a little bit of room so the thing can slide a little bit. So I'm going to keep my finger right about there. And we'll do like that. See how this works without squishing my bow, right? I don't know if I like that or not. I don't think I like that. So I'm going to pass on that. But what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do. I know I'm holding it all up. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this on here like it's tied. And I'm going to tape it to the back. Hold on. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to tie it like it's tied. I'm going to tie it in a knot. And then we'll take this piece right here. All right. And this is the part that this might not work. I might have to change it out to use baker's twine, unless I can get that knot to hold. And then we're just going to, we'll just tuck it under the bow. Or stick it on here with it. We'll just stick this on here with a glue dot. Actually, I don't even like that, because now it looks like it's got devil ears, horns. So let's just take this off, and we're just going to put this on here with a dimensional. How's that? Okay, you know how that goes. All right, we've got one right here. So we're just going to pop that dimensional right there, and we'll just put this. Let's see, let's get our bow. See, this is the part that is frustrating, is that some of this doesn't want to move and some does. All right, so that's that. I know this is the part that, let's just trim this a little bit. This one looks too long compared to the other side. Okay. All right, there we go. And let's just stick this right below there. How's that? So we'll just put that right like that. All right, so there is our box. Isn't that pretty? And it really is an easy box. Just, it would have been a lot easier had I remembered to paid attention. I wasn't looking at my directions to tell me to put my ribbon underneath. But there you go. Isn't that a cute box? And so you just lift it up in the front and open it right up, fill it up with all your goodies, put your ribbon in there, whatever you want to put in there. Close it up. And then here's one that is done with the ribbon of where I tied it. This is that thick velvet, or I'm not sure what that is, but it just wants to keep curling. Okay, there is our two boxes. So there's a box that I made. I hope y'all enjoyed that. And it is a pretty easy box to do. And we're actually 10 minutes early, done in 10 minutes with 10 minutes to spare. So let me know if you all would like the tutorial. Again, just leave the word tutorial and I will email it, text it or email it a copy to you, whichever is easier. And don't forget to check out the Black Friday special through Stampin' Up. I do know that some of the items have been out of stock now, but take a look because there might be some stuff on there that you can take advantage of. Thank you again, everyone, for spending your Tuesday with me. I hope you all have a great Thanksgiving and enjoy, if you are working and you're off on Friday, enjoy your long weekend. And I will see you next Tuesday, December 2nd, if I'm not mistaken. And we're going to start off with something else. We don't know what we're going to do, but we'll find something fun. All right, everybody. Thanks again for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And I will talk to you soon. Enjoy your holiday and have a good evening. All right. Bye now. Talk to you soon. Thanks, Pam.